5, Katie! You hear her, John, or no?
Ooh, notice the FPS went up too. 348. 344, was that like mid-20s? 348. 349. 347. You ready? Whoa, hit the chrono. Alright, I'm going to take apart my Scar H Daytona kit for a little bit of maintenance. I've played with it now for 2.5 months, so hopefully I can show you some things that will help you install yours when you get your kit, or just general cleaning and maintenance of the kit. So first, take off your little macro fitting. If you got yours installed from Tony or however yours is, just take that off. Some, depending on how you install it, you will not have to take the grip off first. The way I drilled my hole in the grip, I have to take mine off. Just a Phillips head in the bottom here. Simply remove that. It'll aid in taking the lower off, depending on how you drilled your hole. There you go. So with that, just one big screw. You can see my hole's not the cleanest hole, but that's how I drilled my hole in the grip. Put that off to the side for now. You're gonna have the takedown pin here on the lower receiver. Simply just pop that. Pull it. And you're just gonna rock back. The lower comes right off, very easy. We're gonna put all that to the side. I'll get back to that later. All right, so next you're gonna remove your stock. I know my stock's different, but it's gonna come out the same way as your stock does. As you go to remove the stock on the stock setup or the Daytona kit, try to do it slowly and watch as you're gonna have a spring shoot out the back. So just pull down on it. Or in this case, you pull this guy. I have my thumb now on the back here holding the spring. I put my stock to the side. As you let go, here comes the spring. It's the recoil spring. All right, step 2, we're gonna take the bolt out. Can't pull it out. There's gonna be it's gonna be a total of 5 screws. One so here. There's going to be 2 on the opposite side. There's one right underneath your sight, your rear sight. That's so. All right, so we got 4 screws out, or 5 screws out. This piece is simply just going to slide back. That to the side. This little aluminum piece that's going to cover your Daytona kit. Slide the valve off. Grab the charging handle. Just pull back. Now you're going to see it's going to get back to this little slot here. This is how you can swap the charging handle from the right side to the left side of the gun. But simply just pull out. That to the side. Your whole carrier group is out. All right, I'm going to put the lower off to the side for a second. Or the upper. So I'm just going to wipe everything down now. So after playing for a while, I've been taking the gun apart now in, I don't know, a month and a half, give or take. So I'm just going to wipe everything off. Some of the grease might be kind of black. Just get some of the old dirty lube off. It's called a grease, lube. Bolt carrier group, just give it a nice little shake. Plunger should come out. Wipe the plunger off. Take a little paper towel, a little piece of it. Put it on the inside of the plunger just to get any of the dirty out there. There's many ways you can clean the inside of this. You can, I mean, use a cleaning rod from a gun, whatever the case. This is just how I'm doing it right now. Put that to the side. I'll wipe down the whole carrier. Now there's a screw right here that's actually holding the actual bolt tank inside of the bolt itself. I'm going to remove that. That side. Now the actual bolt tank will slide out. That's nice. And she's still covered in lube. You don't have to take this apart every time. This is just me trying to give it a more of a thorough cleaning. Throw some of this inside of the bolt tank for the actual bolt. All right, shove it through there one more time. Now when you get your Daytona kit, you're going to notice, I'm not going to take mine apart here, but you're going to notice you're going to get this actual metal piece with the kit. This piece that you see is going to go on top of your stock actual carrier. There's going to already be a hole drilled inside on top of this piece that comes with the Daytona kit. It's already pre-drilled. So Loctite these two screws on top of the carrier, on top of the actual slide here, or whatever you want to call this piece. And simply, once they're Loctited on there, just drill a hole right through it. That's going to aid for your hopper pull. You're going to have to drill an upper receiver, which I'll show you later. So this hole, Tony already did all the work for you. Just drill right through. There's no guessing match on that. All right. Put all that to the side. Now let's get back to the upper receiver. Just to show you some things on that. When you're going to put the front end of it in, yours is going to look a little different than mine. I understand that. You're going to have two little black rail segments on each side. There's going to be two screws. You're just going to simply remove those. It's very similar to how this is going to come apart. Similar but different, yes. This install is very straightforward. There's really not much you got to do to it. Alright, so my front end will be sliding off momentarily. A little more screws on mine. But you also have a metal piece on the bottom here that you're going to need to remove a screw back here and one in the front as well. So if you don't think, mine's a little bit more, like I said, is a pain in the ass than what yours is going to be, just due to the rail system and everything I have on mine. I have to take off my grip here, just to access that screw. Doesn't have to be right there, but that's where I so chose to put mine, and it just so happens to cover one of my screws. So on yours, you're gonna have a black, the bottom rail segment's gonna have two screws in it. This would be the second screw. And you're gonna have two side screws for the side rail attachments. Now, when you remove all of those screws, you're going to notice your outer barrel is going to become loose. As you can see, mine's all wiggly. You're going to have a little front piece like so. Yours is going to look a little different than mine, but it's going to look like this. Or it's very similar to this, I should say. Just pull that out. Once yours comes out, you can pick it up. put it to the side. Your outer barrel will just come right out. Alright, I'm not going to take my hop-up unit out, but it's very self-explanatory. You're going to have 2 screws here. You're going to have 2 screws on the reverse side. Your kit is going to come with its own new hop-up unit, which is going to look exactly like your previous hop-up unit, basically, but it's going to house the actual unit for your Daytona kit. So when you're going to drill the upper receiver hole, suggestion, mount your hop-up unit in. You can see my hole's drilled here. And what you can do is, you'll be able to look, if it's dark or whatever the case may be, you'll be able to look to the top here of where the reciprocating charging handle's at, and you'll be able to kind of just look straight down. You'll be able to see where the hop-up hole is. Just look from where that is and go straight up, and that's where your hop-up hole needs to be drilled. Mine was drilled at Weaver 24. I'll show you a picture on the screen here in a second. Doing another buddy's kit, his was not drilled at 24. We just kind of just wung it and said, oh yeah, sweet, we'll just count from the back forward, assuming that we numbered everything exactly the same. They did not. Don't trust them. So just check and make sure before you drill. All right. So I'm going to now just put my upper receiver back together real quick. The piece that's going to come with your Wii, take your outer barrel, slide your outer barrel pretty much on, take the other piece. It's got little grooves. It's going to fit right in the upper receiver. You'll be able to see how basically it fits in the grooves. There you go. Slide in there. Now the outer barrel is still going to be loose. It's still going to be a little wobbly here. This is something that I just do. I take one of the O-rings that fits in your Daytona kit, and I put it over the outer barrel or the inner barrel. The only reason I do it just kind of helps. People Teflon tape barrels, which I do too. But for this situation, I've also discovered some O-rings kind of help out too. They're just going to help stabilize the barrel from moving around. And once I slide all this together. All right, so once this piece is slid in the barrel's there, it's really not holding the barrel, the actual outer barrel assembly in yet. So once you put your side rails on, you'll be all right. And then once you put the bottom rail segment on, you'll have your 2 screws that'll secure it. So mine's gonna be a little different, but if you're installing this rail, then you'll see too. So I'm just gonna take the rail as she sits now and just slide it over. All right, so my rail segment is on. So for your side pieces, you're gonna have 2 screws. I'm gonna screw 2 mine in now. I suggest Loctiting these. You could use the liquid, or this is the paste. I've kind of grown to like the paste, just for the, seems to be easier, for me at least, a little less mess. You're not gonna go crazy with it. A little bit goes a long way. You don't gotta wrench down on it. Just get it hand tight, get a little bit extra. Put my other side screw in. You'll notice when you're putting on your sides, your 2 side rail segments, the barrel is still going to be loose and move. So let me secure that just first. On the bottom, you're going to have, like I said, your bottom rail segment's going to have 2 screws. You're going to have a long one and a small one. You should, if memory serves me. The long one's going to go in the back, short one's going to go in the front. And same process. Put a little blue Loctite on it. Immediately your outer barrel gets a little bit tighter. Now we're going to put the other one through. Now you may, like mine's not threading in immediately, you may have to just rotate the outer barrel just a little bit, just to get the hole lined up in it. Once it catches, you'll feel it. And there you go. I'm going to put my front grip back on first. This is not part of the installation for the kit, but I'm going to put my gun back together the way that I play with it. Blue Loctite on those two. In case you haven't noticed, I suggest almost blue Loctiting every screw. Some will take red, I'll show you which, but the common ones that are coming off, maybe more often than others, use blue. There's that. I still have 2 more screws to put in my rail. A little bit of extra turn. Alrighty. Now while you already have it out and apart, if you've already been using it, whatever the case is, this is your maintenance. These other things, I use a regular cleaning rod, little patch on it. I'll clean the barrel out, get any lube out. I just use pure acetone. Just kind of dip it in there. Just gonna go from the muzzle end. You can go either way you want. Come out. Put something out there. There you go. Maybe all she needs, or she may need a little more. I'll take another clean one, just dry now. I also basically recommend, once you're done doing this, put your gun on full auto, do a little bit of a burst, and basically do this again while the gun's assembled. Alright, so your upper is cleaned, ready to go. If you want, you can wipe off the actual hop-up unit a little bit there. Ensure that your feed tube there. I don't Loctite my feed tube. Some people epoxy them, JB weld them in place. I've had good success so far just not doing any of that. I just screw it all the way. It seems to be alright. But you might want to just check it, make sure she's still tight. I'll put that back off to the side again for a second. Alright, I'm going to show you the lower. The lower is pretty straightforward. You're going to have one screw right here. This is going to physically hold in the trigger box. That's all it needs. There's not much going on. The selector is going to come with its own selector bar. Has very nice positive clicks. Can't be more than happy about that. If you want to know how your levers are working, so as is, I'm in safe right now. If you're looking at the levers, both are equal height. This is your semi lever. The one next to it, your auto lever. When you go to single, you will notice the auto lever drops. It is lower now. So when you go to pull the trigger, all that's going to be engaging this lever, or its sear, is going to be the semi lever. When you go to auto, that lever comes back up. That is going to be the one that's actually going to be pushing the sear in now. Just a quick way to look. Normally you have a valve inside there. You can kind of see how it functions a little better. So I'm just going to rest the valve in there, like so. It's kind of how I'd be sitting while the body's together. So when you pull on semi, that's the one that pushes. And on semi, this little brass piece is going to have some tension on it. So when the bolt comes back forward, it's going to push. You heard that? And you see the sear get released. It comes back forward. That's your one cycle. When you go to auto, semi lever here now has no tension. It's not the one that's pushing the sear. So that thing can get hit by the bolt as many times as it wants to. It's not going to matter. It's not going to stop engaging the sear because it's not engaging to begin with. The auto one is. All right. And again, with this kit, you're not going to need to modify the selector lever. It comes with a selector lever inside there that's already set up the way it goes. All right, so next thing of note on this, the magazine catch. I modified mine slightly. My GMP mags, it's not that they did not want to lock in, they were just a little loose. I'll show you a picture on the screen here in a second. That'll show you how I modified mine. If you can see inside there, maybe you'll be able to see how you can see how I modified my lever. All right. My mid caps now, my GMPs. Lock in, no problem. Oh, there we go, a little pass there. It's good. And I added a slight piece of Velcro to the front just because I like my mags a little tight. I'm not doing any tactical operator hitting the mag and hitting the mag release, letting the mag fall out and quick reloads. Does it come out with ease? Yes, it comes out with ease, and I'll show you momentarily. All right, so as far as maintenance on the lower, what I like to do personally is just give it a little squirt, mainly on the levers, on the back portion here. So when the semi-lever is disengaged from the sear, I just mentally feel a little bit safer in my mind that it's not just 100% metal and metal contact, there's a little bit of, there we go, there's a squirt. We get a little bit actual, just a little less friction going on. Then I also give it one squirt just on the springs, just a peace of mind for myself. All right, I'm gonna put the lower aside for right now. All right, so we're gonna put the bolt back together. So now this is as if I'm gonna go play. I'm doing my own maintenance here, so I'm not gonna over lube anything. I'm gonna take the bolt. If you, for whatever reason, let me go back a little bit here. If for some reason you have a major problem, something's going on inside here, the spring is broke or your crush ring or something else failed, there's gonna be these 4 screws here that when you go to install the kit, when you get it, I suggest taking them out one by one and putting red Loctite on them and tightening them back down. As soon as you get the kit, take the screws out, just do one at a time, put red Loctite on it and screw them back in. That's gonna be under a little more stress than your typical screw on the body, which is why I suggest to put red Loctite on it. When you wanna take it off and service this whole air shaft inside of here, you're gonna have to take a heat gun, heat it up, yada yada. If you watch my MSK video, I take it all apart. But for this video, I'm not. So I'm gonna take a little more Get Some 1000. There's not gonna require much here. I'm just gonna put, we'll say 4 drops. You can wear gloves if you want. Just gonna lather it around here a little bit. I'm gonna slide the bolt tank back inside the carrier. I'm gonna move it around a little bit. There should be nothing catching. It should just be nice, free, easy moving. All right. Now some people on the forum like to put Loctite. Some people don't. Goes back and forth. I personally do not. If you are going to put some blue Loctite, I suggest at least blue. Give your screw we took out here to secure the bolt tank in. Again, it's hand tight. I just give it a little snug. Again, nice and easy. That lube will help work itself around. Take the plunger, the same thing. Just gonna put like one on the outside, little drop. Gonna lather it up. I'm gonna drop 2 or 3 on the inside of here, inside of the actual bolt tank. Take the plunger, I'm gonna drop it in. Nice and easy. I'm gonna take another drop here and put it on the back of the air shaft. Put it in there and spin it around just to kind of help lube that back O-ring. All right, the whole assembly is nice, loose. All right, I'm always, I rub the front of the nozzle dry a little bit. It's inevitable, it might get some on it, yes, but I'm gonna lube, I just wipe any of the lube off on the front of the nozzle. All right, I'm also gonna put one drop here on the back of the air shaft and just spread it around. A little bit goes a long way with this. All right. I'm gonna grab the upper receiver again now. I'm gonna put a little bit of lube here on the side. Maybe 4 drops or so. I'm just winging it here. I'm gonna put 4 small drops on this side. I'll probably put 4 drops on the top. There you go. I'm gonna put just one on the outside of the bolt. I'm just gonna, whatever's on my hands, I'm just gonna go around the outsides of it. All right. So, it's pretty self-explanatory how this goes in here. Back of the receiver. If you want to, you can just give it a quick wipe. Just check if there's any debris. Any dirt or debris inside of there. If there is, just wipe it out. Cool. I'm not going to lube inside there because I just put it on the pieces here. Find its groove and just slide it in. Now, so we're going to have to decide which way do I want my charging handle to go on. Don't forget with the Scar, the charging handle reciprocates. It's not like a Masada or an ACR, MSK, whatever, that's just going to stay stationary. Or like an M4 stay stationary. This is going to physically go back and forth. So, decide. I'm a lefty, so I charge it like an AK. I put it on the opposite side because I don't like this coming at my face. It's not going to hit me in the face. I just don't like it being charged at my face. So, you push the bolt assembly in, you'll see there's going to be a hole right in that little keyway there. And the actual, this has got a little flat on it. Just slide it in. Turn the flat and go down. Give it a little pull. I can't pull it out. If you're on the other side, simply just come back and do the same for the opposite side. Come in, rotate it to the flats, go through it. There you go. It can't come out. And go forward. All right. Next piece that I put in is going to be the air shaft, the valve. Now I lube the back of the air shaft, which is going to go through the center of the valve here, which is going to lube those O-rings up. I like to put the valve in first. Simply just slide it on. Next piece, I'm just calling this a, I don't know, holds the valve in, kind of keeps it aligned. It's going to go right in the back. Now this, from what I can see, doesn't really move around very much, but I'm just going to put a single drop on the outside, and I'm just going to lightly just put it around it just to help it, I don't know, a little less friction inside the body. It'll be all right. It's going to go in this way. It's going to fit right. It'll fit right in that groove. It's going to slide in. You're like, oh no, maybe I can't get it in. That sucks. Just look, don't force it. The air shaft's just not lining up with the hole. So I grab the valve, pick up just a hair. There she goes. She fits, and the valve's going to fit right inside of it. I'm going to push it all the way forward. Next piece I'm going to put on. It's going to be this little black metal piece. You just may or may not have this little. There's for my sling. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's 2 holes on each side. 2 holes on each side of the receiver. Just going to slide in the groove. Boom. There you go. All right. Take the little screws now that go on the side. Hey, what do you know? This is crazy. Get that blue Loctite out again that you used. Again, it's a little screw, not much. Look at that, some of the block is even coming out. All right, I like to do just habit of everything I do in my life. I like to go opposite sides here. I did one on this side. I like putting a tire in a car. I'm not saying you have to do this, just personal preference. Put one over here on the other side. I'm going to put one over here now. Just to help keep everything aligned. There we go. Sure. Now I'll put this other one on the side. So I know I didn't take the trigger box out of the lower receiver, but what you're going to need to keep is the actual trigger, the trigger springs, and a little bushing that you'll see. The lower is pretty self-explanatory. I think you'll be able to figure that part out. You should probably be able to figure most of this part out here. This is a very drop-in kit. There's not much going on here to do anything. Don't forget your one above the rear sight. That goes in right there. Again, blue Loctite. Alright. Now, you have the recoil spring. When you're going to get this, if memory serves again, it comes with its own new rod. You are going to reuse again, this is off memory I think, but you're going to reuse the same piece here. I just put the little cap over it. This little screw right here, I'm ever going to be removing this. I put red Loctite on it. This piece is metal, it's not rubber. So I don't have a really concern of taking a heat gun to this lightly and heating that screw up to be able to pull it out. Not a lot again here. I'm just going to put a single drop of lube on it. Just make a little thin stream there. And just go down the whole thing. It's already all over my hand a little bit just from everything else. I'm not putting a lot, just there you go. Putting it on. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the actual bolt's got a hole in the top of the bolt in this picture. It's going to be the bottom of it. You're going to take this and literally just slide it in. Find the hole once it's sitting inside there. And just push. Now it's obviously there's a spring it's going to be pushing out. You can see the bolt maybe trying to move as I push the spring in. All right. Take your stock. Again, your stock is going to slide out just like mine. Pretty simple. Push it in. The other hand, take the stock. Just slide it down. Once you're covered, it's not going to come out. Ta-da, all done. All right. Now, take your lower. There's going to be a nut. I just left mine in there. Yours hopefully stay. Thing I did not mention is in the lower, here's where I drilled my hole. You're going to have to drill a hole to come out the bottom of the grip. As you can see where it's placed, you're not going to have to run a high tang grip. I am running one, yes, but I originally ran the stock grip on here. You don't have to run that. All right, so it's pretty simple. You see where your hole is, where you drilled your hole in the back here. Take the airline, feed it through the hole. Now what I've noticed, you're going to take the valve, and the little guide block, push it to the rear. There's a little tang here in the back of the stock, or the back of the lower receiver. You'll find its little home. Come in with it, and the lower and the upper will just kind of mesh. Push your pin in. Take your grip. I find it's easier to put the screw in first. All right. I'm going to feed it through the back hole. There you go. Simply tighten it. I do not put blue Loctite on this. Grip hasn't really wiggled its way loose yet, and I've taken the gun apart. I don't know, not a lot. As far as cleaning in the gun, this gun right here has got easily over 30,000 rounds already through it in the 2.5 months. I basically broke my buddy's in as well. He didn't have a full setup yet, so I ended up breaking his in for him, or his bucking. Basically, I broke in using my gun. Tip for doing that, tip for making it a little easier for a break-in, boil the bucking for like 10 minutes in boiling water. You want to see if the gun functions, or if you want to see if the gun actually does what it's supposed to, you can charge it now. There you go. That's the whole break-in. That's the whole maintenance and assembly of a Daytona Gun Scar H.